You may have heard of the Benin bronze statues. Benin, this rich African civilization, was responsible for creating these exquisite pieces, which serve as testament to their artistic prowess and deep cultural heritage. The Benin bronzes aren't just decorative artifacts, they tell a story. Each piece, intricately carved and detailed, chronicles the history, beliefs, and lives of the Edo people. From scenes of their powerful Oba, the king, and his courtiers, to depictions of warriors, hunters, and ceremonial rituals, the bronzes offer a rare window into the world of this once mighty kingdom. From the 11th to the 19th century, nestled within the heart of the forest, the Edo people carved out a remarkable civilization in Nigeria. This was an astounding achievement, making it one of the most splendid African states to have ever thrived. During the late 19th century, specifically in 1897, British forces embarked on a punitive expedition against the Kingdom of Benin, which is in present-day Nigeria. This expedition was ostensibly in retaliation against a previous ambush but culminated in the looting, burning, and destruction of the Benin Kingdom. One of the most significant casualties of this assault was the looting of thousands of religious and royal artifacts, among which were the famous Benin bronzes. These bronzes were then sold or given to various private collectors, museums, and institutions around the world, particularly in Europe. For years, they've been displayed in major Western museums like the British Museum in London and the Ethnological Museum in Berlin, far from their place of origin. It is worth noting that Nok civilization stands as the earliest known society to have risen from what is now modern-day Nigeria. Centrally located, the Nok flourished from around 1000 BC to 200 AD, a timeline parallel to the era of the pharaohs. Their mastery in ironwork was unparalleled, and they crafted intricate and refined terracotta sculptures. When migrants from Egypt arrived, they encountered this ancient culture. Among these migrants were the Yoruba. In the southern regions, the Yoruba established their city-states, with Ile-Ife emerging as their revered and spiritual capital, a fusion of their Nile heritage and indigenous traditions. It was from Ile-Ife that a ruler embarked on a journey to lay the foundations of the iconic Benin Kingdom. In the southeast, near Ife, a state had been established by the 11th century under the reign of the Ajaso dynasty. By the 12th century, unrest grew among the people, leading them to seek a monarch from Ife. This call was answered by Oramiyan, a figure from Ife whose existence is shrouded in legend. Although he assumed leadership, his longing for the sacred city of Ife was too great. He eventually returned there, leaving behind his expectant wife, Aramwinde. Their son, Iweka, would later become Benin's second Oba, king. During the 13th century, Oba Agwala, the sixth ruler, undertook significant developments in Benin. He fortified the city, invited a master of smelting to his court, and pioneered the tradition of sculpture in the kingdom. Yet, it was under the leadership of Yoweri that Benin truly came into its own, flourishing in every aspect. A skilled healer and formidable warrior, Yoweri ascended to the throne around 1440. Descended from Oramiyan, he undertook a major overhaul of the army. Leading his forces, he brought over 200 cities and villages under his reign, thereby considerably expanding the kingdom's territories. This included the annexation of Igbo and Yoruba lands. Yoweri also fortified and broadened the realm's infrastructure, creating expansive roadways throughout. Yoweri, recognizing the artistic prowess in Ife, brought in ivory and wood sculptors to shape the legacy of Benin, establishing a political structure that endured throughout its existence. After narrowly escaping a plot against him due to the intervention of his servant Edo, he honored the servant by naming the kingdom after him. The term Benin, ascribed to the state by the Portuguese, likely stems from a variation of Beni or Bini. This name is linked to the coastal Ijo people whom Europeans first met upon their arrival in the region. Another theory suggests that the name originated from Ubini, the designation for the royal territory prior to Yoweri renaming the land as Edo. In a departure from the prevalent African tradition where the king was typically the son of the most influential royal woman, in Benin, the Oba was chosen from one of the two sons of the preceding king. Indeed, the Oba ruled alongside his mother. The Queen Mother held the pinnacle of respect and honor in the kingdom. Her consent was paramount. No major decision could be finalized without her endorsement. This setup ensured that, even with the father-to-son transmission of power, the essence of African matriarchy remained intact among the Edo. Benin's fortifications stand as a testament to its architectural prowess. Primarily constructed in the 14th and 15th centuries, these fortifications drew inspiration from Ife. Crafted from fortified clay and deeply rooted into the earth, they stood at an imposing height of nearly 8 meters, encircling an expansive area of 6,500 square kilometers. To put this in perspective, this area is 6.5 times the size of Lagos, currently Africa's most populous city. Astoundingly, the combined length of Benin's walls stretches to about 16,000 kilometers. Their construction consumed materials 100-fold greater than that used for the Great Pyramid and spanned a distance 4 times the length of the Great Wall of China. While the Great Pyramid holds the distinction of being the most intricately designed structure globally, Benin's walls lay claim to being the grandest pre-industrial construction. Notably, both monumental structures were the handiwork of Black Africans. Benin's city layout showcased advanced urban planning. The city, designed on a rectangular blueprint, adhered to the mathematical concept of fractals, a principle that Africans had explored and understood for millennia. Benin's influence was so profound that Europeans named the stretch of coastline spanning from Nigeria through the present-day Benin Republic and Togo to Ghana as the Gulf of Benin or Bight of Benin. However, in 1892, the British sought to colonize Benin. They claimed that Oba Ovenramwen signed a treaty subjugating Benin under British control. This narrative, however, has been fervently disputed by the Edo community, especially as the Oba was undergoing a ritual that prohibited outsiders. In 1897, sensing the looming threat, Benin's military leaders took action, resulting in the deaths of 8 British officials. The British responded with a punitive expedition, during which they razed the capital, obliterating its rich heritage. Oba Ovenramwen was subsequently exiled to Calabar in eastern Nigeria. Age-old artifacts and treasures were either destroyed or looted, with many now housed in British museums. This marked the tragic end of Benin's illustrious 7th century reign. We will be exploring the origin of the bronze used in making the Benin artifacts in a future video. Evidently, recent Eurocentric archaeologists are pushing the narrative that Africans had no means of making bronze. We will be challenging this assertion soon. Subscribe in order to be notified of part 2 of this video. Thanks for watching.